when we're going for new awareness and when we're working around this competency, it's important to ask those really deep and penetrating questions that are going to evoke answers from the person that they have to really dig for, going into areas they've never really thought about. Okay, so this is where a lot of the new awareness comes from. It also comes from the coach being able to compile information that's being talked about and kind of pull it together, string it all together, and ask questions that shift the person into a new way of seeing, a new way of talking about, a new way of thinking about, perceiving, whatever, their situation in any given situation. So, okay, you guys are all saying stuff in the chat, so I have to go back and read it now. So, okay, Jane says, where is a coach about when your belief system may be in conflict with the coachee and how to deal with that. Do you want to talk about that for a second, Jane? When your belief is in conflict?
Well, I'm just imagining a situation. I'm not a believer, so imagine if I'm not sure I would choose to coach someone in a religious environment, but if I did, I mean, I would be highly respectful because I too grew up with a lot of religious training in my generation, so I'm quite familiar with the way of thinking. But I think I might have to really talk to myself, not to get into an argument about belief systems. So, you know, I think that when you're dealing with I think there's a difference between a belief system, you know, whether you are a believer in a particular school of thought, if you want, as opposed to just general assumptions and, you know, beliefs that you need to revisit. Kind of like, I'm trying to make a distinction between, you know, kind of a whole school of thought and belief system, as opposed to just regular, you know, assumptions, daily assumptions.
Yeah, absolutely. And Terry, go ahead. It looks like you want to weigh in on this. Go ahead.
Actually, not on this. I have to admit that I can feel myself disengaging a little bit from our session so far because I think I have a story that Vic got triggered by something around the awareness based on his experience, and now the conversation really seems to be focusing on that. And to tell you the truth, I'm kind of floating away. So I'm trying to find a way of staying in, and I'm not sure how to do that. And if somebody can help me do that, I'd be happy for some suggestions.
We don't want to lose you, Terry. Don't float away. And so I think what we need to do is bring the conversation back to creating awareness and how we're going to talk about that. Something sounds like a good coaching topic. Well, I do want to move into the coaching because we're running. I don't want to run short on time and give everybody a chance to coach here today in the full amount of time. As you can see, I mean, there's so many different areas we can get into, but, however, I want to say, you know, Vic, thank you for bringing that up, because these are areas that we go into that we may stop ourselves as coaches from digging and pulling our coachees forward into new awareness. That these are some of the areas that we get stopped, we get trapped in our own heads. And, you know, I won't go into what my beliefs are or anything because it doesn't matter when I'm coaching somebody. At the end of the day, I'm coaching the whole person, not just a religious person, not just a secular person. I'm coaching the whole person, and their beliefs are part of that. And their beliefs have to be honored and respected as we want our own beliefs to be honored and respected. Our beliefs don't matter at that point. We take them into their own learning. We ask questions into their world, not from outside from our world. And so that is the distinction I want to make here. And when we're taking people into new awarenesses, we don't lead people into awareness or into awareness we feel they should have. Like I said, we ask questions into their world to have them dig deeper within their own world, within their own thought processes, within their own beliefs, to learn more about themselves and how they see things and how they behave related to that. I hope that makes sense. So, with that said, we want to reel Terry in, and Terry, maybe this is an area for you to get some coaching in. Maybe you'd want to be the next person coached. I'm going to first ask who wants to be the coach this week. Tracy, good, because I was going to say you've only coached once so far. So I'd love to see you coach again, which would be great. And who wants to be coached by Tracy? Jane, excellent. Okay, so I'm going to give you ladies 15 minutes. How does that sound? And I'll go ahead and set the timer, and I'm going to take my face out and go ahead.